All right, here we go. BG Knocc Out. Welcome back to Vlad TV.
What's happening, man?
Hey, man, it's been a minute. One of my favorite regular guests is back again.
I appreciate you having me, man.
That's what it is, man. That's what it is. You know, looks like you're doing well, always smiling, always got that good energy.
Oh, yeah, for sure, man. I got to. You know, I don't got nothing to be mad about. I'm sad about, really.
There you go. There you go. Well, the Kanye interview on Drink Champs just came out.
Yeah.
And that's causing lots of waves. And, you know, you and I were talking about this before the interview. The one thing you had an issue with is people like, I guess, Big Sean and John Legend essentially biting the hand that feeds them in a way.
Yeah, man, I thought that wasn't cool. You know what I mean? It's like us with Eazy. I'll just use me, for instance. You know, we didn't always see eye to eye with him. But we didn't make it public, you know what I'm saying? We didn't go on tape and say all these crazy things back and forth because friends fall out, brothers fall out, family members fall out, but the love remains, you know what I'm saying? So it's like if somebody is doing something that you're close to that you don't approve of, you don't go public with it. You know what I'm saying? Like you just don't do that. You call your man and, you know what I mean, and have a conversation, you know, as opposed to being pulled into the quagmire of BS. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, I think he feels that when he aligned himself with Trump and when he ran for president,
right,
a lot of people who were close to him weren't feeling it. And I mean, for example, Talib Kweli, we spoke about that in previous interviews. And I mean, Kanye didn't really put on Talib. Talib was already on in his own way, but they did collaborate and they did come up with some classics together.
Right.
But, you know, I think for certain people, sometimes they feel the bigger picture or the country as a whole sometimes is more important than this particular relationship.
Yeah, I understand. Like, I totally get it, but it's like, it's how you do it, man. Like, especially if you're close to a person. You know what I'm saying? You got their phone number. You call them and have that conversation. You don't make public statements about people that you mess with because, you know, you can't erase that. Once everybody heard it, that's out there forever. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
yeah.
You know, I understand. I definitely understand. I didn't agree with what Kanye did either. But I wasn't going to down him publicly because he's still somebody I look up to. You know what I'm saying? Musically, he's still an influence in my life. Like, I'm not going, you know what I'm saying? I don't got to agree with you to still have love for you. You understand what I'm saying? And I just think it's about how they did it.
Well, you know, you touched on the Eazy-E thing.
Yeah.
So did you guys have serious disagreements at certain points?
It was petty stuff, bro. Like, I can't even really remember, bro. Like I told you before, Eazy was a person, it was hard to stay mad at him. You know what I mean? Because he just had an overwhelming personality. And like a lot of stuff was just us being young and not really knowing, you know what I mean? And sometimes you wake up on the wrong side of the bed some days, like anybody, you know? So it was minor stuff. It wasn't nothing really big or major, but I'm just saying, just human behavior that happens. You know what I mean?
Yeah, nah, I feel you, man. I feel you. I mean, we'll see what happens with Kanye. I've interviewed Kanye many years ago, even before Vlad TV. And I can tell you the Kanye back then was exactly the Kanye today.
Yeah.
Like, overly opinionated. He would say wild shit. Thought of himself above all others. Doesn't understand why everyone else doesn't see it as well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, that was just one meeting that we had, one sit down interview, and we hung out a while with him and Common when they were working on their album in the studio. But I think to a certain degree, if you are actually friends with Kanye, I think you have to sort of accept that he's just going to fly off the handle every so often. And you have to decide whether or not that relationship is worth keeping or not, you know, because it's going to happen again.
He is who he is, man. And it's like, you got to accept him for that. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's pretty much it. I'm sure Jay, shook his head a lot dealing with Kanye, like all the stunts he pulled in different situations. But it's like, that's still your partner, man. Like, come on, man. Like, Kanye, he's just a wild card. And you just got to love him for who he is, you know?
Oh, yeah. I mean, this is the guy that at the start of his tour goes on this big rant and then just quits his entire international tour, right there that night. I mean, imagine there were still like 50 dates all over the world set up. Venues had booked, had booked those dates. There was staff ready to work. Like literally this affects, people had bought tickets already.
Yeah,
like this is
yeah.
affecting tens, if not hundreds of thousands of people. And you go and have a hissy fit on stage and you literally just say, nah, I'm good. I'm not going to do it anymore.
Yeah.
It's hard to deal with a person like that.
Yeah, I understand, but you got to understand like what's the background situation that nobody knows. You know what I'm saying? You don't know what he was experiencing in his personal life that made him feel that way. You know what I mean? It's always something. Don't nobody just do things. You know what I mean? Unless they're mentally unstable or like, mentally challenged or some shit. But nobody just reacts and do things, crazy like that, bro. Unless it's something behind everything, Vlad, that we may not necessarily see.
Yeah, I mean, he's bipolar.
That's
what it is.
That could be.
He's bipolar.
I got anxiety. You know what I'm saying? Like we all suffering from something.
Yeah, I mean, I have OCD, but at the end of the day, if you look at all the interviews we've ever had, and I've had rough days, along the way, just like everyone else. I've had problems with my family. I've had, health problems here and there. And, I mean, nothing serious, but I've had, operations and so forth. And it's like, at the end of the day, the show must go on. There's other people involved. There's people that took time out of their day. There's people that are depending on the check they're getting that particular day to pay their rent or whatever else. And it's like, I got to humble myself and make sure that, just swallow my spit and finish off the day. And then afterwards I could kind of, dwell on my feelings.
That's all understandable. But you may be one of them people who can pull yourself together under those circumstances. Everybody don't have that, Vlad. You know what I mean? Everybody don't have certain skill sets, and it's just what it is.